Hey, what's up, guys? I don't know if you're aware, but trying to self-fund a YouTube channel where it's gun-related, not easy. YouTube's not super 2A friendly, but if you guys like the content I make and you want to help support the channel, I don't want to ask you for money and give you nothing in return, so I've come up with a t-shirt that you guys can buy. If you're interested in picking one up, please reach out on Instagram or Facebook at The Chunky Operator. You'll be talking to me directly, and I'll get your order in and get it processed. I don't currently have any other way of processing them at this time, so I can just take direct payment and then drop ship the shirts to you as I order them. Once I get something else a little more streamlined, I'll definitely come back and do an update video, but for the time being, if you guys want a t-shirt, just reach out and I'll make it happen. If you don't want one, I just appreciate you watching the videos at all. You're definitely supporting the channel in that way, so thank you. And without further ado, let's get back to the video. All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm pretty excited to be making this video. I've got a new scope here I'm ready to test out, and this was sent to me from CVLife. This is the CVLife Eagle Blaze 5 to 25 by 56 millimeter first focal plane optic, and it has a 34 millimeter tube. Guys, this is a scope. I've been trying to try out something like this for quite a while. I just haven't had a chance to get one. So I'm really happy that CVLife sent this out, and I'm really, the more I've looked at it, the more excited I am to really test it. So it has all of the features that I personally want to try in a 34 millimeter tube and in a first focal plane optic. The reticle is a MOA grid style reticle, and I'll show you here. Later in the video, I will also give you guys a look through the scope so you can actually see how it looks when you're adjusting it. But the cool thing about first focal plane is as you adjust your zoom lever, the reticle grows with it. So typically on a regular second focal plane scope, your hash marks and your designations that are on the actual reticle will only matter at the max power. On a first focal plane, they're accurate at every power setting. So you don't really have to crank this thing up to 25 power if you don't want to, but you do have the option. And regardless of what power setting you're using this on, your reticle is going to be accurate for your drop, your windage, your elevation, all that good stuff. So what's included with the scope? So you get the scope itself. It does have external turrets. I've been checking these out. They're marked for 0. Pop them out to adjust them. Adjustments feel good, very audible, very tactile, very clicky. You do get flip-up scope caps. They work pretty well. They lock up solid, no issues there. Front and rear. Moving on to the rear, you do have an adjustable diopter. On the side here, you have side focus parallax and illumination. So this thing's packed with features. And they also include a sunshade right out of the box. You don't have to pay any extra for that. They include a set of 34 millimeter rings. These rings are for the Eagle Blaze are specifically made for a Picatinny rail. They won't fit on a Weaver mount. So keep that in mind if you're ordering this optic. You get a 0 stop adjustment. You get some little tools here to adjust your caps, because once you set your 0, take the screws out, adjust the cap back to 0, put it back on, put the screw in. You get a throw lever, which is nice. It threads in right there. And you get a couple of batteries and a cleaning cloth. So, I mean, really, guys, this thing is feature-packed. And I can't remember exactly how much they are right now, but I know they're on Amazon without any coupons or anything for like $2.99. If you look at a scope with these features in a 34 millimeter tube, the best I could find was $1,000. So this is coming in at a third of the price of its best competitors. And if you see something, with a better price than what I found, hey, let me know in the comments down below. But a third of the price for things like, I can't remember the name of the company that makes it, but I was just looking at them last night. And then if you start looking at Night Force optics, which are certainly comparable in features, you're talking 10 times the price of this optic. So depending on how this thing holds up, this may be a great value. And if it is, I'm certainly going to let you guys know. Now, I'm going to be mounting this on a 308 bolt action. I'm going to go ahead and grab that now so you guys can see it. And you're not going to be able to see the whole thing in the camera because it's just not a big enough lens. However, you can see what it is. This is a Savage Axis that I bought years ago on a clearance sale at Walmart. And then I started modifying it and just making it into a better rifle. Now this has a trigger job. It has a Boyd's varmint stock on it, which I really like. I have a magazine adapter from, I want to say Grimstad Desh, that allows me to use Savage 110 tactical mags so that I can get 10 round magazines in it. And that is right in there. So it just replaces that piece. The whole stock, I have free floated it. And currently I'm running a Vortex Crossfire 2 6-18 by 44 optic on it. So I'm really excited in upgrading scopes because I've had this thing on here for a long time and seeing how it performs with this one. So let me go ahead and throw that scope on here, guys. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll take it out to the range and test it out. Maybe I can get you some POV shots in the scope, and we'll see how this rifle performs with a really high magnification optic. So stick around, guys. Stay tuned. Let me go ahead and swap some things around, and I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. All right, what's up, guys? So we're out here at the range. We've got the CVLife Eagle Blaze 5-25 by 56 first focal plane optic mounted on my Savage axis. And right now what I'm going to do is go ahead and try to get this thing zeroed. So I'm using some older Wolf ammo right now. I'm at 25 yards. And I'm just shooting a paper target just to see how far off I am to start out. So what I'm going to do is get it kind of close here at 25, at least get my centering right, try to get my windage or my elevation close. Then I'll push the target out and see how we do out at 100 yards and see how this thing performs. So first things first, let's load this mag up. Put a few shots on paper. See if we can dial this thing in. Alright, let's see, how many did I put in? 5, 10, 1 behind. So this should be 10. All right. Alright, so first thoughts about using the scope out here at the range. Very clear glass. Even at 25 yards here, I'm able to dial the parallax back close enough to where I have a crystal clear reticle. And I'm actually going to run the illumination. Let's see how that looks. Alright, on max power, even out here in the full daylight, bright sun, I can see the illuminated reticle pretty good. If I'm able, I will try to get some footage through the scope to overlay in some of this. We'll just see how it goes. I do not have one of the adapters that mounts the camera to the scope itself. And it is kind of tough to maneuver a cell phone and actually get everything to line up correctly, but we'll see what we can do before the day is out.
Alright guys, so this is the best I could do getting this video. We're starting here at the 5 power setting and slowly zooming in to the maximum setting at 25. That's not the scope itself, that's just me not being able to hold the cell phone steady. So sorry for that. But there we are at 25 power. You can see that the reticle grows as you zoom in. And here it is zooming back out. Again, that is the cell phone failing to focus. But at every power level, the reticle is crisp and clear to the eye.
Alright, let's go ahead and fire the first few shots. See how this thing is, how close we are. Alright, pretty good center. I'm about 3 inches low, ½ inch right. So I'm gonna go 3 clicks to the left. going to bring it up a little bit, and I may end up bringing it back down once we stretch it out because of the height over bore. But we'll see. So let's bring it up. And I'm just going to move it to the 3. And let's see where that gets us. Sometimes you got to remember it is a bolt action. Okay. All right, now we're about 1.5 inches low and dead center. I'm going to try that there. Go ahead and drop this mag. Make sure we got an unloaded weapon. I'm going to go ahead now. We'll push the target out further, and let's see how we're doing at about 50 yards, and then we'll walk it back to 100. So give me a moment to set things up, and I'll show you guys that. But I can go ahead and show you now what we're actually doing. So here's how we're set up currently. And you can see the paper target there at the 25-yard line. And yeah, guys, that's what we're doing. Let me move this thing back to 50, and we'll see how it's printing there. See you in a moment. All right, guys, so we got it pretty close at 25. I decided to just skip 50 yards altogether. And we went ahead and pushed the target out to 100. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and try to shoot a few groups, see how this thing looks. And I got to say, man, so far I am super impressed with the quality of glass on the Eagle Blaze. Crystal clear at every distance I've shot it at so far. That side parallax adjustment really does help. And it does offer a pretty good field of view. And I think that's one of the big benefits of getting that 34mm tube and that 56mm bail on the end. So let's go ahead now. We'll see how this thing does at 100 yards. Still using wolf ammo now. I'm going to dial it in and then I'll switch to some better ammo and we'll see how it shoots. Alright, so I want to crank in a bit. So here we're at max power. This is 25 magnification. So when you're at 25, you are going to have to get a little closer to the scope. The eye relief is a little shorter. All right, so centered, we're still perfect, but like I thought, I am going to have to bring it back down. So I'm just going to try bringing it back down to 0. Let's see, 0 to 3. That should have been 3 inches at 100 yards. Let's see where we actually were. 1, 2, 3.5. So I'm going to bring it back another 2. So that should get us right on. Let's see how this goes. Sometimes these wolf primers do not want to go off. Alright, that's the same hole we hit a little earlier when we were shooting at 25. I am going to bring it back up 2 clicks. And keep in mind, this is not a bull barrel, so I am trying to let it cool down a little bit in between shots. This is not a precision rig, although it does look like one. This is just a Savage Axis with a few modifications. Alright, let's see where we're at now. I hit pretty low, so I'm not sure if that was the round. The barrel's really not hot, but I definitely threw. Let me fire another one, make sure that's not just me. Okay. Come up another 2 clicks. All right, we're still a little bit low, but not much. Let's do another 2 clicks. I'll tell you what, it's grouping pretty well. I got about, I'm gonna say maybe 1.25 inches if you ignore that one flyer we've had so far. And that's one of the cool things about this scope. I don't have to get up and go check the target. At 25 power, I can see that shit perfectly well. All right. And there was another flyer. Pulled a little low and left again. I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I think we're pretty close though. After this mag's empty, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to brass and see how it does. Dial that out just a little bit. 20 power might be plenty. Still grouping a little low. All right. Let this thing cool down a little bit. I'm gonna switch ammo. Try some of this AAC. Again, this is not match grade or anything, but I would hope it would be more consistent than Wolf. Let's find out. I'm gonna switch to this. We're gonna go ahead and shoot a fresh target. I have 2 down there at 100. Let's see how it does. Tenth round is always kind of tough. The barrel's warm, but it's not too bad. All right, new target, 100 yards. Let's see how we go. All right. That was 1.5 inches high, 1.5 inches left. Go ahead and fire another one just to confirm. I think I pulled that one. That one was low. Damn ears are not perfect for rifles. So let's get one. All right, let's see. All right, that was pretty close to the first one, so 1.5 inches left. means I need to come right 3 clicks. And high means I need to come back down. Yep. Let's try that. Sometimes feels tight. That was a good one. It was a 1/2 inch off the bullseye, top right, top left rather. That's touching the same one. Alright, I think we're getting pretty close now. I'm gonna bring it 1 click to the right. New bullseye. I'm going to try the lower left corner of the new target. Alright, I pulled that one a little low, but it hit exactly where it should have, so let's try again. Hell yeah, I think we got it now. Okay. Yeah, we're golden. I'm going to go ahead and hit a headshot at 100 on steel. And we're zeroed. So now that we have our zero set, what we can do is unscrew these screws on this cap, take the cap completely off without changing any adjustments, return it to zero, put it back on, and tighten that screw up. And that is definitely what I'll do. So far, guys, I am definitely liking this Eagle Blaze. It is very clear, it's good glass, it's easy to see the target. 25 power is probably more than you'll ever need. 20 power is what I'm using here, and even that's honestly a lot. It does kind of make it a little difficult to find your target coming off the recoil, but this is also a very extreme setting. You wouldn't really have to run it on this. I'm only doing it so that I can really see my bullseye and do that without having to spot the shots. Essentially, I can spot them myself with this magnification. So got it set on 12 now. Let's go ahead and see how that looks. Oh yeah, that's perfectly usable. Absolutely. And I'm gonna go ahead now, guys. I'll try to see if I can get some footage through the scope itself, and then I'm gonna let my boy shoot. He doesn't really want to shoot on camera, and that'll be it, guys. So I will try to cut in some footage if I'm able to get it. But so far, I'm really liking this scope. I think it's a good value for the money, especially considering you can constantly find coupon codes for this on Amazon to get it well below that $300. And I like it a lot. I'm definitely going to be keeping it on this gun for the foreseeable future. And I'll be doing some updates as we go, guys, and let you know how this thing's still performing. But so far, I really do like it. All right, guys, until next time, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for sticking with it to the end of the video. And as always, take care of yourselves, and y'all be safe. Peace.